Franklin D. Roosevelt, a brief overview of the life of the 32nd President of the United States. Introduction. Franklin D. Roosevelt, commonly known as FDR, was the 32nd President of the United States, serving from 1933 until his death in 1945. He is widely regarded as one of the most influential and transformative leaders in American history, leading the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. This article provides a brief overview of his life, his political career, and his lasting legacy. Early life and education. Franklin D. Roosevelt was born on January 30, 1882, in Hyde Park, New York, to a wealthy and influential family. He attended the prestigious Groton School in Massachusetts and later graduated from Harvard University in 1903. In 1907, he received a law degree from Columbia Law School. Political career. Roosevelt's political career began in 1910 when he was elected to the New York State Senate as a Democrat. He quickly gained a reputation as a progressive reformer, advocating for workers' rights, women's suffrage, and environmental conservation. In 1913, President Woodrow Wilson appointed him as Assistant Secretary of the Navy, a position he held until 1920. In 1920, Roosevelt was nominated as the Democratic Party's vice presidential candidate, running alongside presidential nominee James M. Cox. Although they lost the election to Republicans Warren G. Harding and Calvin Coolidge, this marked the beginning of Roosevelt's national political career. In 1921, Roosevelt contracted polio, which left him paralyzed from the waist down. Despite this setback, he remained determined to continue his political career. He founded the Georgia Warm Springs Foundation, a rehabilitation center for polio patients, and worked tirelessly to find a cure for the disease. Roosevelt's political comeback began in 1928 when he was elected governor of New York. He served 2 terms as governor, implementing progressive policies and earning a reputation as a skilled administrator. Presidency. In 1932, Roosevelt was elected President of the United States, defeating incumbent Herbert Hoover in a landslide victory. He took office amidst the Great Depression, the worst economic crisis in the nation's history. Roosevelt's response to the crisis was the New Deal, a series of programs and policies aimed at providing relief, recovery, and reform. The New Deal included initiatives such as the Civilian Conservation Corps, the Works Progress Administration, and the Social Security Act. These programs helped to create jobs, provide relief to the unemployed, and establish a social safety net for the American people. In 1936, Roosevelt was re-elected in another landslide victory, becoming the first president to win a second term since Ulysses S. Grant. He continued to implement New Deal policies and expanded the role of the federal government in the economy. World War II. As Europe descended into war in the late 1930s, Roosevelt became increasingly concerned about the threat posed by Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. He provided support to the United Kingdom and other Allied nations, while also working to keep the United States out of the conflict. In December 1941, following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, the United States entered World War II. Roosevelt played a crucial role in shaping the Allied war effort, working closely with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. He also helped to establish the United Nations, an international organization aimed at promoting peace and cooperation among nations. Legacy. Franklin D. Roosevelt died on April 12, 1945, just weeks before the end of World War II in Europe. His legacy as a transformative leader and champion of progressive policies continues to shape American politics and society to this day. Roosevelt's New Deal programs helped to lift the nation out of the Great Depression and established a social safety net that remains in place today. His leadership during World War II helped to defeat fascism and establish the United States as a global superpower. In conclusion, Franklin D. Roosevelt was a remarkable leader who guided the United States through some of its most challenging times in history. His progressive policies and commitment to social justice continue to inspire generations of Americans, and his legacy remains an enduring testament to the power of leadership and vision.